We meditate so we can free the mind from suffering. But the path to the freedom from suffering doesn't consist only of meditation. Many places where the Buddha lays out the various steps, many of them start with generosity. This is the basic principle of learning how instead of finding happiness in taking and clinging, you learn happiness in giving away. A king once came to see the Buddha and asked him, where should a gift be given? He was probably expecting the Buddha would say, well, give to the Buddhists. But the Buddha said, give wherever you feel inspired. But then the king said, well, when a gift is given, does it bear great fruit? And the Buddha said, that's a different question. When you have something, it's totally your freedom, your choice to choose where you want to give it. But if you want to get good results out of the gift, you have to think about several things. One is your intention in giving, your motivation. You're thinking of only just getting something back in return, or you're really giving it away. Two, you look at the recipient. Is this someone who will take good care of what you have to give? Take good care of it and put it to good use. And then three, the gift itself. Is this something that would harm you or harm others? In other words, harming you would be depriving you of things that you really need in life. Harming others is, say, like giving something to a monk that's not really appropriate for his style of life, his pursuit of the practice. So you have to think about giving if you want to get the most out of it. This is a principle that teaches you discernment. Because discernment starts with that question, what when I do it will lead to my long-term welfare and happiness? And just giving sometimes does, sometimes it doesn't. But if you give well, give skillfully, then it does lead to long-term happiness. Same with observing the precepts, the same with meditating. What kind of observation of the precepts leads to get the mind in a good state of concentration, and what kind of meditation has good long-term results. This is something you have to learn by looking at your actions, looking at the example of others first. Seeing if there's a good example, you follow that and see how the results are. Then you look more deeply into your own motivations and pull out any motivations that are not skillful. You learn by acting and then by reflecting, or as the Buddha says, commitment and reflection. This way you develop your discernment. So discernment is not just something that comes from sitting with your eyes closed and getting the mind into deep concentration. It starts with everything you do. If you want to do it well, think about what will lead to your long-term welfare and happiness in your acts of generosity, the way you observe the precepts, all the aspects of the path. Because if the path leads to one thing, it leads to freedom, and the freedom requires discernment. So work on being discerning in how you give. Approach generosity as a skill, and the benefits will be great.